Watch the rotation. The rotation here is so important for Prot Pally. Yeah, I've turned my nameplates on. Lightsmith weapon buff missing. Oh, no. In despair. In despair. Yeah, because I talked a big game, I feel like that could happen. Yeah, like, now because I talk like a big game and stuff. Double horse. The gather is so important. I'm going to sack him immediately. 1, 2, 3, boom. I'm immortal for a second. I dispel my healer right away. He's good, actually. I dispel the next one. I'm going to shield him the second he's in range. See how fast that gather was? Boom. Shield him, shield him. Otherwise, you don't want to be casting shields anymore. By the way, I will dispel him right away. Good. Dispelling. Nice. Bubbling now. Perfect. Dispelling. I will go with all this dispelling, though. Look at the DPS meters. Look at my health not moving. I'm telling you that Prot Pally is not that bad, except for one thing I will say. I am a specialist at Ara-Kara. Prot Pally is a particular specialist for this dungeon and only this dungeon. This is the dungeon that Prot Pally is literally the best at. This and maybe Dawnbreaker is pretty good at. But this dungeon in particular, it does big damn. I have massive amounts of utility that I can send fully, right? Ardent to gather. And then I actually didn't even press my tier there, which I'm kind of experimenting with this build. Masterworks is up. Toll for immediate aggro. I'm going to sack my healer. Yeah. And then I'm going to tier myself so that my healer can focus. I dispel the person with 2 stacks. That might have actually been aggro, even though I did send Toll earlier. So my healer is worried about me. I don't need that much. I don't need that much focus healing here. I'm just going to be standing in his F-low. I'm going to be keeping my shield and making sure that this guy doesn't get any casts off. If I dispel too much, I actually will go So I have to be aware of that. That part sucks, but I have to dispel 2 stacks here. There you go. Otherwise, it's just me and the healer. Me and the healer are the only dispels this dungeon, aside from my sacrifice, which has a 1-minute cooldown. 2 stacks I dispel. 1 stack I actually leave for my healer to heal because they're all standing in F-low, and honestly, it'll be fine. We can send tier here real fast, and then here we go. It's a very fun tank, but it also does massive damage. It has its niche, which is just massive damage. The only problem is I will literally go actually dispelling everything. But look at my health. Like, I'm chilling. I'm like hard chilling right now. Prot Pally is very tanky. This is a 14 as well. It's not like a, trust me, it's way easier. I'm gonna glory, and then I'm immortal for about 15 seconds, even without wings up. This is not min-maxing. I sack the mage, yeah, and I dispel this person. This is that combination of sack and dispel, because remember, these poisons continuously stack. But while the person has sack on them, they cannot get poisons and stuff. Can you chill? Yeah, it's fine. I don't need... My Resto Druid is not healing me that much right now. He barely has... He doesn't even have Life Bloom on me at the moment. My Resto Druid doesn't even have Life Bloom here. He's chilling. Cool. But keep in mind that I am not a DPS player. I am a tank and healer. This is what I do. This is my specialty, is tanking. I've been tanking in this game for so long that I also know that I need to consecrate right when these guys come out. Otherwise, I'm going to lose aggro. This is going to be a miserable aggro thing. Even though I don't have a plater, I know this here, though. Are you casting? Yeah, a little bit. But actually, I'm not overcasting WoG, because if you overcast Word of Glory, the problem is you lose a ton of value. You just go The biggest thing is you go I'm actually using my Shining Light procs on my group because this is going to be a tough aggro. I use tier for aggro. Tier is actually a really good aggro button if you're playing it. But you can see that basically my rotation, look at the DPS meters. I am on the DPS meters because Pally's actually good. But he's not healing me, by the way. Like, if it looks like he's healing me a bunch, he's not really healing me that much. You just keep WoG up. If you need to Word of Glory, you do it when you're in danger. And also, there's like a lot of extra damage happening. So I'm gonna shield that guy in. So here, you keep Faith in the Light up. You mostly want to do it for the sake of Faith in the Light. I sack my healer. I'm in a poison puddle. That's why I died there. Almost died. Didn't actually die. With how many deaths we've had here, I would understand if they wanted to reset. But I hope that I'm proving that Prot Pally is actually, like, decent right now. Like, it's not as bad as people say it is. It's not great, and I do still think, by the way, this is the squishiest tank. But this season is currently coded to not hit that hard. That's the thing that people are not realizing, is that this is not a hard season to tank. There's actually, like, this is not like Season 1, it's more like Season 2. And Season 2, there's just not a crazy amount of tank busters. Like, there are, but it's not insane or anything like that. So I feel like it's really important to consider a dungeon pool when you think about the meta tank and, like, what is going to be very good and very bad, etc., etc. Because it depends. Like, if you're talking about Priory or something like that, I made one Lithium. I made one already, but I'm going to update it next week. It's basically, the rankings are exactly the same. I already made a tank tier list. The rankings are exactly the same right now, except for the fact that Bear moves up one spot. Bear moves up one spot because actually it's very good right now, in my opinion. This is a scary thing to do, but you used to do it on live, and as a Prot Pally, I'm pretty sure it'll be okay for me to do this pull. You just have to be careful of the bleeds. There's a lot of healing up front like this. If you do this, for sure, you have to immediately sack the person who gets the first poison, and then probably send big cooldowns on yourself on the first overlap here. Because you will die as a Prot Pally. You will absolutely die to this. Dispel the healer right away. As a tank, I can control this pull. Otherwise, I would not be willing to do this in a pug. Because then this crawler is going to live a very long time. Cool, I'll keep the boss close. Not too close, though. I dispel, but I will go if I get every dispel. So hopefully I don't have to get every dispel. Just hodge him during this overlap here. We all kind of stack, and we go around the corner, which is the meta strat from Season 1. And if you didn't play Season 1, people are definitely in for a rude awakening. So I bubble this set. I move the boss slightly away so he doesn't immediately eat these ads. I think you're in for a rude awakening. If you didn't play Season 1, I could see people really struggling with a lot of the strats here. I could see that happening. Because there's a lot of things that we just all kind of learned and take for granted that we learned in Season 1, doing these dungeons like Dawnbreaker and whatnot. Sack him, and he doesn't have the poison on anymore. There you go. So this boss just has permanent funnel if you like this, though. VDH will get nerfed. There's literally no shot. There's, like, no way that they keep VDH the way it is. I don't think so. I think that the greater WoW community would actually riot. If VDH was that good again, I think the greater WoW community would actually riot. I think there's no way. I would be so upset. I think that, but I wouldn't be the only one. Like, the thing is, I forgot to hit my weapon before that. That was sad. I don't think I would be the only one, though. I think everybody would be very upset, though. I did say the same thing. And you're right. There's a concerning trend right now. There is absolutely a concerning trend. Is there a way to import your... Yeah, it's in my Discord, Quiver. Quiver, in my Discord. The cell profile is just straight. It's straight in the Discord. It should be pinned under UI. There's a few things in UI, but the cell profile is pinned there. But my Prot Pally is doing pretty good this dungeon. Keep in mind, Prot Pally, Ara-Kara specialist. Prot Pally in particular is literally a specialist at this dungeon. The things that it can do, the utility it provides, the damage in, like, uncapped AoE, feels really good, yeah? And that boss... fine. So we just walk through. We've set it up where I have Holy Power as I walk through here. Shield these guys. You have a second now, but I still ardent myself right away. Go in taunts. Hopefully give me a second. Otherwise, I'm going to sack my healer who might have aggro here. And then I just go like this. Cool. Because there's actually a lot of overlapping damage here that happens now. I almost missed that kick. My plater profile is probably one of the biggest things at the moment that I really need to fix. So they've made Ara-Kara harder in the first area. I hopefully made it look easy as a Prot Pally. Prot Pally makes that first area very friendly. The problem is, it's not going to be as friendly when you're not playing Prot Pally, and I think that people are not ready for that. Like, I think that first area is going to wipe your pugs a lot. Send tier because it's more damage first. But see that prio damage? See how the big guy's already dead when all these guys are still alive? Amazing prio damage for my group. There's a world where with our current kicks and stops, we could go left. Let's go right. No DK, let's go right. I think with no DK, let's go right, actually. And just heal through these. Because without the ability to grip, the left side takes a little longer. I have to toll early for aggro, otherwise I'm going to lose aggro, which is very sad, by the way. I consider bubbling myself right on this AoE so that my healer doesn't have to heal me. Boom. I think that this dungeon in particular is why Prot Pally is good. It just shows everything that Prot Pally still has and is still good at. This is this dungeon for that. Like, this is like, I'm chilling right now. The next pull is probably the hardest one, and I think we should lust it. If you do the next pull, if you go right, then the next pull is like the one that I'm concerned about. I think that it can get very messed up very quickly. Kick this. Boom. Hodge this one on the AoE overlap, and then tier as well. Cool. I would lust next. Lust next pull. This next pull is the lust. Although the second boss also sucks. I think that Resto Druid could struggle with the second boss potentially. I agree that if every tank had an AoE taunt, that'd be awesome. But yeah, like Prot Pally, like, okay, for everybody who says, because I just did a dungeon and they were like, Prot Pally's so squishy. And I was DPSing actually. I was testing Hunter out. And I was just like, it's so good though, if you can play it very well. It just, the amount of min-maxing you have to do. Like, I know I'm not going to die. I have Ardent plus Cheat Death. This pull is the Lust pull. It's probably the most concerning out of anything. Maybe I should have saved Bubble for it in the future. I don't have to sack just yet because I know my healer has a plan for the first one. But after this, I have to be controlling this pack a lot better. I Kings until I get to Wings. Get this kick first. Boom. Wings right away. Locking in a little bit. Locking in a little bit. Here we go. The extraction strikes on top of AoE is when your tank really needs to be sending bigger cooldowns. So, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Make sure this volley doesn't go off. I kick it. Boom. Actually, we have so much prio damage. See how the big guy's already dead? This comp is amazing for prio damage. Actually amazing. Every single time we're fighting one of these big things. I was ready for another AoE. That didn't even happen. Didn't even happen, by the way. Yeah. What magic? Look at my overall damage. My overall is good right now. So we fight this all together here. Okay, good. Great knock there. Great knock. I can hodge this first one. And then somebody will help control that back one, I'm sure. Right? Because I don't actually have blinding. I have no more CC for this. I'm dry. Somebody else has to CC. Somebody else CC. Oh, if you let one of these go off, it would be the end of the world, actually. It would be like nightmare scenario if you let those go off now. Yeah, this, I gotta say, our current comp that we're playing, you can grip. Okay. Oh, actually, if he can skip this, that's fine. We can skip this next pull. That's cool. We lose overall damage by doing that, though. Do mount if you can. I think my mount is here, but I don't know how to kick people off. Hold up. I don't have the thing to keep people off. Someone else. You do. Oh, how many grips did we have? Cool. I forgot. Actually, it's been a second since I've done this. So the first one goes on me, and then I immediately just go back here. My healer, see how my healer's externaling me? I don't need it. It just looks scarier than it is when I settle into the thingy. Cool. I don't have Bop Spec, but I do have off healing for this boss. I totally forgot that strat, by the way. Season 1, as long as the tank gets gripped, you can just actually send it. This boss in particular, another reason Prot Pally is super good, because I can just immediately be shielding all these ads and making sure that they come in. Obviously, other people could also do that, but Prot Pally makes it easy. Again, shield him again. I'm ready to bubble for the positioning here if I need to. Like right now, I don't mind just sending it. Whoops. So this boss, in my PTR testing, every time I've done this on 14 thus far, this boss is a terror. This is the one where you just die. Healers are really struggling with the HPS required here. So I keep the Impale there. I just have 2 stacks, which is fine because I had Ardent up. But yeah, this fight in particular, I've noticed that healers are really struggling because DPS need to help them. And I have a sack still, so I can help with that. The Pally should be baiting this giver. Actually, the Druid can do it too with Wild Charge. Once again, Season 1 strat. But the thing is that it doesn't... I'm going to sack him just in case. Because I don't know if he can or cannot game it. Of course he can game it. He's Razzle, so he has a plan. But yeah, we're gaming right now. Like, our timer is chilling. We're going to need a lot of extra percentage going right and not pulling extra in the first area. But I do want to hopefully showcase that Pally is, when I say, because I'll rate it also, I will openly say that Pally is extra squishy. It's squishier than it should be. Whoops. Instant death somehow. The Shaman definitely likes the taste of the floor this dungeon, and I don't like to kink shame, so that's absolutely fine for him. If he really, really, really enjoys it, oof. I have 4 stacks. I have 4 stacks. I have 4 stacks. It's kind of hard, this boss, the positioning here. I'm just going to go to the left side then. Our healer is dead and we have no res. This boss actually gets so out of control so quickly. I can probably shield this and save him, but I don't know if we can kill him in time. We actually do have another res. Okay, great. Great, great, great. So this basically, the, yeah. The lay on hands, etc. though. Blood DK is the lowest on the tank tier list, 100%. Just because of the lack of utility and what it brings for the group. I'm probably going to hold my wings. The next thing I have freedom for, but I will die if I pull too big. Because that next, by the way, Frozen, have you tank PTR yet? The next area got worse. They buffed it. They buffed it. They did not nerf it, they buffed it. Like, actually, it's terrible now. Hodge it. We're trying to focus boss now for sure. I'm saving. I'm holding. Good. Okay. Whew. That boss is rough now. That boss is rough. That was a 3-minute, 20-second fight. Not too bad. Okay. I'll go big. Wait aggro. Sec aggro. I can go big here. This is going to hurt, though. This is where there's no other damage really happening. I don't have wings yet. I don't have my toll. I don't have my horse. So it's actually going to take me a second to gather this. Let's just fight these, actually. You know what? We have time so easily. Let's just fight this. Okay. So I want to pull these drones. I want to pull the pat in here. It'll come in a second. And I'm ready to bubble it when it comes in for aggro. This is what you used to do in Season 1 as well, because otherwise somebody will get clapped by this. And I need to bubble anyways to basically not have the slow on me here. And then I'll rotate Freedom and Healer Dispel. These guys here, I would say they should nerf the damage of it, but buff the survivability a little bit. I think that if they buffed it baseline survivability a little bit, people would have less of a problem with it. I will say it's not like Ara-Kara hits that hard, yeah? Let's go left side. We're going to need both sides here, though, for percentage. I sacked my healer. We had aggro problems. Oh, that volley goes off too. Uh-oh. Did I need to do this? No. We don't want the side now, though. Somebody was hitting early. We don't want to pull those extra guys, though, yet. Not yet. I'll freedom myself here. Yeah, so with freedom and stuff, you can actually game this, but this requires so much focus. These guys actually really hurt now. Because I freedom this one, and then my healer will have to dispel me on the next one. You need to sync pulling these guys now, because their circle thing needs to happen at the same time. I have Moment of Glory up now, with 12 seconds left of wings. I still almost die through that. That's a fair bark skin. To be fair, no one else needs healing here. So it is acceptable that I require the bark skin. Freedom myself. Freedom also gets rid of the dot, which is nice. Cool. I want to actually run back now. I'm going to turn my back for a second and then just run, reposition. So freedom, and then here we go. Freedom makes this easy. Freedom makes this whole mechanic, like, hilariously easy. Otherwise, without freedom, I really think you could struggle here. Cool. Let's go right side. Whoops. If I turn around either, it won't be enough because VDH control Mystic Touch. I think that VDH will get nerfed and Warrior will be meta. But that being said, Omegas, if that happens, then Beastmaster is looking really good, right? Actually, Marksman weirdly benefits more from VDH than Beastmaster does because Stampede is physical, I'm pretty sure. Okay, go this way. I don't know if this is actually percentage. It might not be. Let's pull this with this, actually, because we have cooldowns. Yeah, this is going to be sucky for me, but I just freedom myself. And go to the open space so we have plenty of room to fight around. Whoops. I'm going to sack my healer so he doesn't have the poison on him. There you go. So basically, as a paladin, I have dwarf, I have bubble, I have so many options for this last area, but it does hurt a lot, and these drones are no joke. So I might dwarf myself here, potentially. I want to make sure I get one of these wellies. Dwarf. It's a magic dispel now, so dwarf will work on it. I don't get hit by this. Easy. And then I just freedom. So I don't even take the dot. Cool. I think we might need middle. I'm not actually sure what percentage is like. I was planning to take the other thing. I don't know exactly what this percentage is, actually. So obviously we have time right now, but yeah. If you look at overall damage, the Resto Druid is doing 500k, but providing Mark of the Wild and actually doing a fairly good job healing. So, all right. 94%. I don't know if this is percentage. I think it is. These guys should be here. What's the biggest weakness for Prot Pally? Okay, Prot Pally's biggest weakness is that it is just squishy in a lot of scenarios. There's a lot of scenarios where I'm gonna need healing like a Brewmaster needs healing, which is like the most offensive thing that a tank can say. There's almost nothing more offensive that a tank can say. As a tank player, the fact that I'm not playing Brewmaster, but tell you I might need healing like a Brewmaster is like, there's nothing more that I can explain. Like that's worst case scenario, you know what I mean? So that's pretty rough. I don't like that part of Prot Pally. It is kind of just squishy a little bit. But it still provides so much to the group that in this dungeon in particular, I still feel like it's literally the best tank. Like, it's not that squishy here. You have everything in this dungeon. You have every dispel. You have the sack, which is so good with the poison change. You have all the kicks and stuff. Like, you see how, like, I think you could, I don't think you understand how much exactly I'm carrying this. Like, look at the overall kicks here before we get to last boss. Last boss is much easier, so we probably can't wipe here. Maybe. Look at the damage done overall. It's not like I'm doing low damage. I provide 3% DR, etc., etc. I provide a lot to the group as a Prot Pally, and this is the exact dungeon where I can really showcase that, because I can sack this and dispel this. You see how OP that is? We don't even have to deal with that mechanic with me in the group. Kind of. I can dispel at least one. Right? You look like... well, thank you, I suppose. I can't sing. I can kind of play basketball. No, I can't, actually. I'm an uncoordinated penguin. So really, I don't think Zac Efron and I have that much in common, to be honest. So if I get it, I can dwarf myself. If my healer gets it, I can just dispel him and watch the waves. There you go. Does Warrior not need external heal? Okay, so Warrior is very tanky. I wouldn't say that it doesn't need external healing. It just needs very little external healing. But I wouldn't describe Warrior as a tank that can actually solo sustain itself, except in mass AoE, which is not always the thing that matters. Like, basically, if in Dawnbreaker, for example, Warrior is like, a lot of those packs, Warrior, like, there's a few pulls where Warrior will get really big tier set value, but even if it doesn't get nerfed, like, without big AoE, the Fueled by Violence doesn't actually sustain you. Blood DK is very tanky. When I tested Blood DK, by the way, it felt amazing. Like, I was super I felt very tanky, but my damage was the same as my damage was around the same as my bear. I min-max my bear, I don't min-max my Blood DK. The problem with that is that Blood DK provides no group buff, and basically provides no utility, next to no utility. Yes, you can make an argument it has some utility. It's basically no utility. It's not, it barely counts. Watch my own poison here, good. Warrior is currently in competition for sure for being possibly the meta tank. Like, it could be the most giga of giga tanks, for sure. But I think they'll nerf it. I just think that they might not nerf it enough. I think they're going to nerf it by, like, if they nerf it by, like, 10% or even 20%, it still does exactly what it does right now. It's just slightly more reasonable. And that's what I think they'll do. I think they'll nerf Warrior by, like, 20% stuff. The problem here is if they need to nerf VDH, VDH is the offender, where they need to slap that with more than a 5 or 10% nerf. Like, that needs to be a much more heavy-handed nerf. I told you Prot Pally's awesome. GG's. Prot Pally can still be played. Just proving a point. I had to prove a point. Prot Pally can still be played. There you go. A little squishier than other tanks, but I will say, look at the dispels. Look at the dispels. 30 dispels a lot. 30 dispels that dungeon. Yeah. 30 dispels plus, look at the kicks.